Blackstone Publishing presents the Hynek UFO Report, the authoritative account of the Project Blue Book cover-up by Dr. J. Allen Hynek. Forward, compiled by Paul Hynek. This book is read by Kevin Kenerly. All charts, diagrams, and photographs that appear in the print edition of this book can be found in the bonus PDF file that accompanies your audiobook CD or download. Forward. Be glad of life, because it gives you the chance to love, and to work, and to play, and to look up at the stars. Van Dyke. J. Allen Hynek was a scientist who happened to get involved with UFOs, not a UFO buff who picked up some science along the way. It's an important distinction. He didn't come to the UFO field having seen something himself, looking for answers to something he already believed. He came because in 1948, after a flap of reports of mysterious objects in the skies, the Air Force asked him to. I don't think he ever dreamed that a part-time job, consulting for the government, would turn into a decades-long pursuit that largely defined his career. Dad became an astronomer in part because he respected that astronomical events, such as eclipses, always happened exactly when they were supposed to, unlike the erratic arrival times of trains. Clearly, there was an underlying system to astronomy, and he never stopped learning about it. He especially wanted to go to the edges of the system and help expand it. While laid up with scarlet fever at the age of 7, he read his first book on astronomy, and a new astronomer was born. In a world where most people seemed to believe only what they wanted to believe, Dad stood out for living and breathing the scientific method. People frequently asked him if he believed in UFOs, and he invariably focused on the word believe. He'd say that he'd never seen a whale, though he'd read many credible reports attesting to their existence, but that nobody ever asked him if he believed in whales. What he believed, what he knew to be a fact, was that there were many UFO reports. What he suspected, and sought to validate if possible, was that many of these reports were consistent with each other in some respects. What he hypothesized, often with a twinkle in his eye, was that many of them could be explained by a scientific principle that, though unknown to us today, would be common knowledge to every fifth grader one day. What he felt, and felt strongly, was that these UFO reports were not getting the kind of attention that scientific progress demanded. He didn't believe in UFOs. He accepted the validity of a growing amount of compelling UFO reports. Dad felt that it was critically important to keep an open mind when confronted with what may be a new phenomenon, but just as important, to not simply grasp at the best available explanation, to not feel forced to come up with an answer.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?